Misdirection can be either frustrating or a pleasant surprise in Hollywood. And we're going to talk about what I mean by misdirection in the case of I Feel Pretty. Amy Schumer stars as Renee, who struggles with a lot of self-insecurities, and she compares herself often to lots of women who people would deem as the beautiful model, if you will, and she feels really low about herself, and at one point she finds herself making a wish to be as beautiful as these women, and her wish comes true to her and her alone. She through a course of events, she wakes up and sees herself as this beautiful model-esque woman that she believes to be the most beautiful ever, but only she can see this in herself, whereas we still see her as she is and how she always has been. And the story takes off on a journey of how self-confidence can really dramatically impact your life. And so I thought that the premise alone for this film was very promising and a very good message to be speaking not just to women, but I feel like to people in general. When I say that this movie was misdirected, I say that the marketing campaign surrounding this movie with the characters really focuses a lot on the humor of the movie and a lot of Amy Schumer humor and the laugh out loud jokes throughout the film. That's really what they promote the most. And I feel that that was a misdirection because this movie is not like a raunchy Amy Schumer comedy that we have been used to, and plays out a little bit more like a feel-good, sweet, romantic comedy, which is not a bad thing for this film, but it definitely delivers in a different way. I thought that Amy Schumer did an incredible job with this role. I thought that she was very believable in all fronts, but I was most impressed with her in the very beginning in setting up her own insecurities and her own vulnerabilities. I thought that she gave a very, very nuanced, in-depth performance. I was a little bit heartbroken at times for her character and how she saw herself and how bad she thought of herself. And I thought that Amy Schumer did a fantastic job in those moments of vulnerability, as well as fantastic at her moments of comedy. And when she escalates in her level of confidence throughout this movie. I thought she was hilarious and all the jokes landed. She does have a great cast working with her. I thought every single character brought really good game to their role. It is a comedy, so some of the characters do come off a little bit caricature in how they were set up, but I felt that they were believable and I thought that they were funny. The overall message about this movie has to deal with confidence and how confidence alone can be the most attractive quality in anybody, regardless of what you look like on the outside. And I felt that this movie addressed that issue that people can struggle with very, very well. It got me to thinking, like, wow, it's so true what confidence can do for you and how that can be some of the, if not the most attractive quality one can have. Many movies do promote that, but I felt like this film had a very fresh take on it that felt very significant. And I don't understand why it's getting so much negative, very harsh criticisms as it is getting. I feel that it may attribute to the misdirection in the marketing. They probably wanted to play up with the Amy Schumer comedy side, which is usually the biggest seller, which, you know, I was sold on it from the beginning, but it was presented in a very different way, in a little bit more of a heartfelt way, in a way that I'm sure a lot of people really aren't expecting it to take, but it does, and I felt like it does it really well. Some people might have an issue with the fact that there aren't as many laughs as expected. They do show a lot of some of the funniest moments in the preview, which should not be a deterrent for this film. For many comedy films, it is a huge deterrent and it really pisses me off, but I felt that this had such a sweet message to tell in the end that it just blossomed into a different film. And I will say there were story elements that were definitely a little bit predictable as to how it was gonna play out. I don't think it is a groundbreaking film, and nor do I feel like it's Amy Schumer's best work. However, I feel like it is a great step for her outside of her box, of her comedy box. I feel that she took this role and she put the most depth into this character of all her characters she's played. I Feel Pretty is a really charming film with a great performance by Amy Schumer and really great characters and a very meaningful story. It falters a little bit on the consistency with the comedy, and perhaps it takes a couple turns in a cliche romantic comedy way, but I feel that the message is what's most important, and it's delivered very well by its tremendous cast. I'm going to give I Feel Pretty a B+. Thank you again for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you were able to check out I Feel Pretty. And until next time, I am Ryan Boehme signing off. Bye, everyone.